My husband told his whole family to dump all the kids on me, the family daycare. He never expected what I did after. It started with a text in the family group chat that my husband sent while I was at work. Just saw the message pop up on my phone during lunch break. Rachel can watch all the kids this weekend. She's home anyway and loves spending time with them. I stared at my screen, confused because we hadn't discussed this. Within minutes, his sister replied with 3 kids confirmed for Saturday morning. His brother said he'd drop off 2 kids Friday night. His mom said she was bringing over her neighbor's grandson because Rachel won't mind one more. By the time I got home, 8 children ages 2 to 9 were confirmed for a 72-hour stretch. I asked my husband Derek what was going on, and he barely looked up from his laptop. He said his family needed help, and I was always talking about how much I loved kids, so this was perfect. When I pointed out that I had plans and a full-time job, he waved me off, saying I'd been wanting to work from home anyway, and this would be good practice. Practice for what? I asked. He just smiled and said we'd talk about it later. The kids arrived Friday evening, all 8 of them. Derek helped carry in bags and sleeping bags, then announced he had to run to his brother's house to help with some project. He'd be back late. Don't wait up. I was alone with 8 children under 10 years old. They were hungry, fighting over the TV remote, and the youngest was crying for her mom. I ordered pizza and tried to keep everyone calm, but by 9 p.m. I was exhausted. Derek came home past midnight, said the project took longer than expected, and went straight to bed. Saturday morning, he left early for the gym, came back, showered, and left again for his mom's house. Said something about fixing her fence. When I called him asking for help, he said I was doing great and hung up. That's when I started noticing things. Derek's sister stopped by to check on the kids, but spent most of the visit taking photos of the messy living room and me looking frazzled. She asked questions like, "Are you feeling overwhelmed? And do you think you can handle this?" His brother came by Sunday morning and did the same thing. Photos of me with my hair in a messy bun, the kitchen covered in dishes, kids running wild in the background. He kept asking if I needed help in this concerned voice, but wouldn't actually help when I said yes. Derek's mom called 3 times asking how I was managing, if the kids were too much, if I felt stressed. Every question felt loaded somehow. Monday morning, I was putting the last kid's shoes on when I saw Derek's phone light up on the kitchen counter. The family group chat. I opened it and scrolled up. Messages from 2 weeks ago. Derek asking his family if they'd be willing to participate in something important. His sister saying, "Whatever you need." His brother asking if it was legal. Derek responding, "Completely legal. Just document everything." There were dozens of messages planning this whole weekend. Specific instructions about what questions to ask me, what photos to take, what behaviors to note. Derek had told them to make sure I looked overwhelmed and incapable. I kept scrolling, my hands shaking. Then I found the message that explained everything. Derek telling his family he needed evidence that I couldn't handle multiple children, that I'd become difficult and unstable, that he was meeting with his lawyer Tuesday morning. He was building a custody case against me. We didn't even have kids yet, but I was 7 weeks pregnant and hadn't told anyone except my doctor. Derek had found the hospital paperwork in my purse last month. I looked up and saw him standing in the doorway, watching me read his phone. The expression on his face told me he knew that I knew, and that's when I showed him exactly what kind of evidence I'd been collecting. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below. I hold up my phone, my hand trembling slightly but my voice steady. "Before you say anything, Derek, you should know I've been recording everything." The color drains from Derek's face so quickly, I'm almost concerned he might pass out. His eyes dart from my face to the phone and back again, like he can't quite process what's happening. "What are you talking about?" His voice comes out higher than normal. "I knew something was off the moment you volunteered me for childcare without asking, so I started recording." I swiped to open my gallery and turned the screen toward him. "I have your sister's entire visit. All those casual photos she was taking, I was filming her taking them." Derek takes a step forward. "Rachel, you're overreacting." "Am I? Let's see what your sister had to say." I tap play on a video. His sister's voice fills our kitchen. "Make sure you get the mess in the background. Derek needs proof she can't handle basic housekeeping with kids around." I swipe to another video. His brother this time, kneeling down to one of his children. "Remember what Uncle Derek said? Tell Aunt Rachel you're hungry again. Say she forgot to feed you lunch." Derek's mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water. I don't give him time to find his words. But my favorite is this one. I play the recording from when his mother called yesterday. Her voice is crystal clear. "The lawyer says we need at least 3 separate instances of her looking overwhelmed. If we can get her to admit she can't handle it on record, that's even better." Derek says she's been emotional lately. "Try to get her crying if you can." Derek lunges forward suddenly. "Give me that phone." I step back quickly, putting the kitchen island between us. "Touch me or my phone and I'll add assault to the evidence I've already sent my lawyer." He freezes, eyes wide. "Your lawyer? You're not the only one who can make plans, Derek." I reach into my purse and pull out a pregnancy test. "Did you think I wouldn't notice this in my purse after you went through it? The one you planted to discover later?" His face twists into an ugly expression I've never seen before. "You had no right to go through my phone, and you had no right to orchestrate this entire weekend to build a custody case against me and our unborn child." My voice breaks slightly, but I force myself to continue. "A child you knew about because you violated my privacy weeks ago. You don't understand," he says, switching tactics, his voice softening. "My family was just trying to help. We wanted to see if you could handle." Handle what? Being ambushed with 8 children while working full-time? Being secretly photographed and questioned? Being set up to fail? I shake my head. "No, Derek, this wasn't help. This was a coordinated attack." He steps toward me again, hands outstretched in what I suppose is meant to be a placating gesture. "Baby, let's just talk about this. You're pregnant. You're emotional. I'm also prepared." I press a button on my phone and suddenly the TV in our living room flickers on. It shows footage of our living room from yesterday. Derek scrolling on his phone while 2 of the children fight over a toy just feet away from him. He doesn't even look up. His eyes widen in shock. "What the nanny cams?" I explain, swiping to show different angles of our house. "Installed last week when you mentioned your family needed a favor. Call it intuition." The footage changes to show Derek telling his nephew to spill juice on the carpet, then calling telling me to clean it up while he filmed my reaction. Another clip shows him deliberately hiding snacks I'd prepared, then telling the children I hadn't made them anything. You set me up, I say quietly. You deliberately made things harder, made me look incompetent, all while I was working myself to exhaustion trying to care for these children. Derek's face hardens. You had no right to record in our house without telling me, and you had no right to try to build a case to take my child away from me before they're even born. I tap my phone again. Everything, the recordings, the nanny cam footage, the group chat screenshots, and your family's coordinated statements has already been sent to my lawyer. You're bluffing, he says, but I can see the uncertainty in his eyes. Check your email, I tell him. She CC'd you on the confirmation that she received everything. I may have been blindsided by this setup, Derek, but I recovered quickly. He grabs his phone from the counter, scrolls frantically, then stops. I know he's seen it. The email from Patricia Winters, family law attorney, confirming receipt of evidence in a potential custody dispute case. You've been planning to leave me, he whispers, looking up from his phone. No, Derek, I've been protecting myself from you planning to destroy me. I take a deep breath, but yes, now I am leaving, and I'm taking everything you tried to use against me as protection for my child. The doorbell rings, making us both jump. Derek looks at me questioningly. That would be my sister, I say calmly. She's here to help me pack some essentials. I'll be staying elsewhere until I figure out next steps. You can't just leave, he says, panic rising in his voice. Actually, I can, and I am. I walk to the door, keeping my distance from him. Your family will be here soon, I imagine. You should prepare them for the fact that their little plan not only failed but backfired spectacularly. As I open the door to my sister's concerned face, I feel a strange mix of heartbreak and relief. The life I thought I had is over, but at least I discovered the truth before bringing a child into this toxic environment. Everything okay? My sister whispers, eyeing Derek, who stands frozen in the kitchen. No, I answer honestly, but it will be. I turn back to look at Derek one last time. I trusted you to be my partner, not my opponent. I never thought I'd need evidence against my own husband, but thank you for showing me exactly who you are before our child arrives. As my sister helps me gather my things, Derek remains in the kitchen, frantically texting, no doubt alerting his family that their perfect plan has fallen apart. I feel strangely calm as I pack, knowing that whatever comes next, I've already won the first battle in what will likely be a long war. I'm in the guest bedroom, hands shaking as I throw clothes into my overnight bag. My mind races through what I'll need for a few days away. Toothbrush, phone charger, prenatal vitamins. The sound of Derek frantically pacing in the hallway, his hushed, urgent voice carrying through the door as he calls his family. She knows everything. Yes, everything. The recordings, the photos, all of it. No, I don't know how long she's been. Just get over here now. I close my eyes for a moment, trying to steady my breathing. 7 weeks pregnant and already fighting for my child's future. This isn't how it was supposed to be. My sister appears in the doorway, concern etched across her face. I've got your toiletries, she whispers, handing me a small bag. How are you holding up? I'm okay, I lie, zipping up my bag. I booked a hotel room with my emergency fund, just for a few days until I figure things out. She nods, squeezing my arm. Smart. What about work tomorrow? I'll call my boss in the morning, explain that I'm dealing with a family emergency. The irony of that phrase isn't lost on me. Derek appears in the doorway, his face flushed. Rachel, please, can we just talk about this? You're overreacting. My sister steps between us. She's not talking to you right now. This is between me and my wife, Derek snaps. The wife you were planning to ambush with a custody battle? I ask, my voice surprisingly steady. The wife you've been conspiring against with your family? The doorbell rings, and Derek's eyes dart toward the front of the house. That's probably my mom, he says. Just let me handle this, okay? We can work this out. There's nothing to work out, I tell him, shouldering my bag. Your family is here? Perfect. Let's get everything out in the open. I walk past him toward the living room, my sister close behind me. As I round the corner, I see them all filing and Derek's mother leading the charge, followed by his sister and brother. The cavalry has arrived. Rachel, his mother says, her voice dripping with false concern. Derek says you're upset. We just want to talk. I bet you do, I reply, clutching my phone tightly. Now that your plan has fallen apart. His sister steps forward. What plan? We don't know what you're talking about. Really? Let me refresh your memory. I hold up my phone. The plan where you stage welfare checks on me. The plan where you coach your children to say I'm neglecting them. The plan where you build a case to take my baby away. Derek's mother's face hardens. Give me that phone right now. Why? So you can delete the evidence? I ask. You had no right to record private conversations. Derek's brother interjects, lawyer mode activated. That's illegal in this state without consent. I laugh, though there's no humor in it. Actually, I checked with my lawyer. Recording conversations I'm a part of is perfectly legal. As for the nanny cams in my own home, also legal. Derek's mother pales visibly. What nanny cams? Instead of answering, I tap my phone and play the recording from their family meeting last week. His mother's voice fills the room. Once the baby comes, we'll need to document every mistake she makes. If she's as unstable as Derek says, it shouldn't take long to build a case. The courts favor mothers, but not unfit ones. The silence that follows is deafening. Derek's sister recovers first. You trapped him, she shrieks, pointing at my stomach. You got pregnant on purpose to keep him, didn't you? Is that what he told you? I turn to Derek. Tell them the truth. Tell them how you found my pregnancy paperwork in my purse weeks ago. Tell them how you've been planning this since then. Derek looks cornered, his eyes darting between me and his family. I didn't want to be tied to her forever with child support payments. Mom said if we got custody. There it is, I say quietly. The truth. His mother steps toward me, her finger pointed at my face. You will not take my grandchild away from this family. I'm not taking anyone away, I reply. I'm protecting my child from people who were willing to manipulate and gaslight its mother before it's even born. I reach into my bag and pull out a manila envelope. My lawyer prepared these yesterday after I sent her the evidence. Separation papers, Derek. I'm filing for divorce. Derek stares at the envelope like it might bite him. You can't do this. I already have. I hand him the papers. You'll find that everything is in order. I'm not trying to take everything from you, unlike you. I'm not interested in destroying someone I once loved. I just just want out, and I want my child to be safe. His brother grabs the papers, scanning them quickly. This won't hold up. We'll fight this. With what? I ask. The illegal conspiracy you planned in writing? The recorded admissions? Go ahead and fight. My lawyer is very much looking forward to presenting all of this in court. Derek's sister starts crying, the dramatic kind that's meant to make everyone uncomfortable. How could you do this to our family? After everything we've done for you? Everything you've done for me? I repeat incredulously. You mean like setting me up to fail with 8 children while working? Taking photos of me at my most exhausted to use against me? Planting a pregnancy test in my purse to discover later? My sister, who has been quietly watching this unfold, finally speaks up. I think it's time for us to go, Rachel. Derek steps toward me, desperation in his eyes. Please, don't leave like this. We can work something out. There's nothing to work out, I tell him, my voice breaking slightly. You chose your side when you started plotting against me. You chose it again when you tried to make me look like an unfit mother before our child is even born. His mother grabs my arm as I turn to leave. This isn't over. I gently but firmly remove her hand. Actually, it is. And if any of you come near me without my permission, the restraining order my lawyer has prepared will be filed immediately. As my sister and I walk toward the door, I hear Derek's brother mutter, "She's bluffing about the lawyer." I turn back one last time. Check your email in about 10 minutes. My lawyer will be sending over her formal introduction and a cease and desist letter. She works fast. The look of shock on their faces as we walk out the door gives me no satisfaction, only a profound sadness for what could have been. In the car, my sister reaches over and squeezes my hand. "I'm so proud of you," she says quietly. "That took incredible strength." I nod, unable to speak as the tears finally come. Not for Derek, not for the marriage I've lost, but for the family I thought I had, and for the child who will never know what it's like to have parents who truly love each other. As we pull away from the house, I place my hand gently on my stomach. "It's just you and me now," I whisper, "but we're going to be okay." And for the first time since this nightmare began, I actually believe it. 3 days after moving into the hotel, I wake up to a flurry of missed calls from my office. My stomach drops when I see a text from my coworker Jen. "Derek's here. He's making a scene in reception. Security's been called." I bolt upright, fumbling for my phone to call my boss. She answers on the first ring. "Rachel, are you safe? Where are you?" "I'm at the hotel." "Is Derek still there?" "Security just escorted him out. He was demanding to know where you were, saying you'd stolen his child and needed to come home immediately." Her voice softens. "Rachel, we've been documenting everything. The receptionist recorded his outburst, and security has footage. We're filing a workplace harassment report." Tears of gratitude spring to my eyes. "Thank you, Lisa. I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything. Take the rest of the week paid. Your work can be done remotely. And Rachel, we're here for you." After hanging up, I open Facebook to message my sister and freeze. Derek's family has been busy. His sister's post stares back at me, praying for my brother whose mentally unstable wife has abandoned their family during a pregnancy. Some women aren't meant to be mothers. 23 comments, 47 shares. People I've known for years offering sympathy to Derek, condemning me for using pregnancy as a weapon. Derek's mother has shared an old photo of me from last Christmas, glass of wine in hand. Her caption, "Just discovered my daughter-in-law has been drinking throughout her pregnancy," explains the erratic behavior. Please pray Derek can save this innocent child. My hands shake so badly I nearly drop my phone. The lies are calculated, vicious, and gaining traction. I screenshot everything before they can delete it, then call my lawyer. "Patricia, they're saying I've been drinking during pregnancy." His mother posted it publicly. "That's defamation with actual malice," she says, her tone clipped and professional. "We're adding it to the file. Have you scheduled your next prenatal appointment? Tomorrow at 10. Perfect. I've already spoken with Dr. Marshall's office. They'll document your health and the baby's, along with confirmation you've had no alcohol. We'll need that paper trail." I hang up, feeling slightly steadier, but my calm evaporates when my phone pings with a text from an unknown number. "We know where you're staying. Come home to Derek or things will get worse." I call the front desk immediately, my voice shaking as I explain the situation. They agree to move me to a different room under an alias and add security notes to my reservation. I pack my few belongings with trembling hands, jumping at every sound in the hallway. That afternoon, I venture out to buy essentials at the grocery store a few blocks from the hotel. I'm examining prenatal vitamins when I feel someone watching me. I turn to find Derek's mother standing at the end of the aisle, her expression cold and calculating. "You're making a terrible mistake," she says, stepping closer. "Derek is devastated. Come home now, and we can forget this nonsense about recordings and lawyers." I back away, clutching my shopping basket like a shield. "Please leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you." "That baby belongs in our family," she hisses, following me. "You think you can handle being a single mother? You couldn't even handle a weekend with children. A weekend where you all deliberately set me up to fail." I counter, my voice stronger than I feel. "Please leave me alone or I'll call security." Her face contorts with rage. "You will not take my grandchild away from us. If you don't come to your senses, you'll regret it. That child deserves better than you." She steps closer, her finger jabbing toward my stomach. "If anything happens to that baby because of your selfishness, is there a problem here?" A store employee appears beside us, concern etched on her face. "This woman is harassing me," I say, my voice breaking. "I'm pregnant and she's threatening me." Derek's mother immediately switches to a concerned expression. "I'm just worried about my daughter-in-law. She's not well." "Ma'am, I need you to step away," the employee says firmly. "We've already called security." Only then do I notice the security camera directly above us, its red light blinking steadily. Derek's mother notices it too, her face paling slightly. "This isn't over," she whispers before turning on her heel and walking away. The employee stays with me until security arrives, then helps me check out quickly. "We have the whole interaction on camera," she assures me. "If you need it for any reason, just have your lawyer contact the store." Another piece of evidence for the growing file. By the time I return to my hotel room, I'm physically and emotionally exhausted. I curl up on the bed, hand resting protectively over my stomach, and finally let myself cry. For the marriage I thought I had, for the family I wanted to build, for the child who will be born into this mess. My phone rings, my sister sister checking in. I tell her everything through hiccuping sobs. That's it, she says decisively. I'm coming to stay with you. And tomorrow, we're filing for that restraining order. The next morning, my doctor's appointment confirms what I already know: my baby is healthy, and I've done everything right as a mother so far. Doctor. Marshall documents my sobriety and prenatal care in detail, adding notes about the stress I'm under and its potential impacts. Your blood pressure is elevated, she says gently. I'm concerned about the stress you're experiencing. Do you have somewhere safe to stay? My sister's coming today, I tell her, and we're filing a restraining order. She nods approvingly. Good. I'm noting all of this in your file, which your lawyer can request. And Rachel, you're doing the right thing protecting yourself and your baby. With my sister by my side, we meet Patricia at the courthouse that afternoon to file for an emergency restraining order against Derek and his entire family. The judge reviews the evidence, the recordings, the social media posts, the workplace incident report, the grocery store security footage, and my doctor's documentation. Derek arrives halfway through the hearing, looking disheveled and frantic. His lawyer whispers urgently in his ear, but he pushes past him to approach the bench. Your Honor, this is all a misunderstanding, he says, his voice cracking. My wife is pregnant and emotional. My family was just trying to help. The judge looks unimpressed. Mr. Thornton, I've reviewed substantial evidence suggesting a coordinated campaign of harassment against your wife. It wasn't harassment, Derek insists. We were concerned about her ability to parent. She's been unstable. Your Honor, my lawyer interjects. We have medical documentation contradicting these claims, along with evidence of a premeditated plan to build a fraudulent custody case. The judge reviews the family group chat screenshots again, his expression darkening. Mr. Thornton, these messages clearly show intent to manipulate circumstances to make your wife appear incompetent. There are explicit discussions about taking custody of a child that isn't even born yet. Derek's face crumples. He looks suddenly small, defeated. I didn't. I never meant for it to go this far. My mother said, your mother isn't the one responsible for your actions. The judge cuts in. Did you or did you not participate in this plan to document your wife in compromising situations? Derek stares at the floor. Yes, he whispers, but I love Rachel. I didn't want to lose her or the baby. By conspiring to take her child away? The judge's tone is incredulous. Mr. Thornton, your actions suggest the opposite of love. The restraining order is granted. Derek and his family must stay at least 500 feet away from me, my workplace, my doctor's office, and any place I regularly frequent. No contact allowed except through our lawyers. As we leave the courtroom, Derek calls my name. I turn despite my lawyer's warning hand on my arm. Rachel, please, he says, tears streaming down his face. I'm sorry. I was wrong. My family got in my head and I was scared about being a father and I made a terrible mistake. For a moment, I see the man I thought I married, vulnerable, remorseful, but then I remember the cold calculation in his eyes when he thought he had the upper hand, the weeks of planning behind my back, the willingness to destroy me to avoid child support. You're right, Derek. You made a terrible mistake, I say quietly, and now we both have to live with the consequences. As my sister leads me away, I feel the weight of the past week pressing down on me, but also a strange sense of lightness. For the first time since discovering Derek's betrayal, I'm not just reacting, I'm taking control, building boundaries, protecting what matters most. My hand drifts to my stomach again. We're going to be okay, I whisper, and this time, I truly believe it. 6 months later, I'm sitting in a hospital bed cradling my newborn daughter, her tiny fingers wrapped around mine. She has my nose and Derek's eyes, a combination that brings both joy and a complicated ache. The nurses have been wonderful, keeping an extra eye on my room after I explain my situation. The restraining order is still in effect, but hospitals make me feel vulnerable. She's perfect, my sister whispers, gently stroking the baby's dark hair. Absolutely perfect. I nod, too overwhelmed to speak. After everything that happened, holding this healthy little girl feels like a miracle. We named her Olivia, a name Derek and I never discussed, one that belongs solely to us. The calm is shattered by raised voices in the hallway. My heart rate spikes immediately. Sir, you cannot go in there. There's a restraining order. That's my granddaughter. I have every right to see her. Derek's mother's voice cuts through the door like a knife. My sister immediately moves between me and the entrance, pulling out her phone to record. Security to maternity, room 312. A calm voice announces over the intercom. I hold Olivia closer, my body trembling despite my attempts to stay calm. The door remains closed, but I can hear Derek's sister now too, her voice rising in pitch. This is ridiculous. We're family. You can't keep us from seeing the baby. The security guard's voice is firm. Ma'am, I have documentation of a court order. If you don't leave immediately, I'll have to call the police. Call them, Derek's mother shouts. Let them see how she's alienating a child from her family. My sister squeezes my hand. They can't get in. You're safe. Olivia's safe. I nod, but tears are streaming down my face. Even this moment, this sacred, beautiful moment, they've managed to taint with their toxicity. Hospital security handles the situation swiftly. I learn later that Derek wasn't with them apparently. He respected the restraining order, if not his family. The incident is documented and added to our growing file of violations. My lawyer calls that evening, assuring me that this will only strengthen our case in the upcoming custody hearing. The judge already has a dim view of their behavior, Patricia says. This blatant violation of a court order won't help their case. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in a courtroom, Olivia safely with my sister in the hallway. Derek looks different, thinner, with dark circles under his eyes. He keeps glancing at me, then quickly looking away when I catch his eye. His lawyer makes passionate arguments about a father's rights, about how Derek made one mistake that shouldn't cost him his daughter. My lawyer calmly presents our evidence: the original conspiracy, the workplace harassment, the social media defamation, the grocery store confrontation, and now the hospital violation. The judge reviews everything carefully before speaking. Mr. Thornton, I find your family's behavior deeply troubling. The coordinated effort to undermine Ms. Compley. Thornton's mental health and parenting abilities before your child was even born shows premeditation and malice that cannot be overlooked. Derek hangs his head as the judge continues. I am granting primary physical custody to Miss Eclairs. Thornton Thornton, with supervised visitation for Mr. Thornton twice monthly at the Family Services Center. This arrangement will be reviewed in 6 months, contingent upon Mr. Thornton's compliance and completion of parenting classes and therapy. Relief floods through me so intensely that I nearly collapse in my chair. The judge isn't done. Furthermore, the restraining order against Mr. Thornton's family members will remain in effect for 1 year. Any violations will result in immediate consequences. Outside the courtroom, Derek approaches me cautiously, his lawyer hovering nearby. "Rachel," he says softly, "can we talk? Just for a minute?" I hesitate, then nod. We move to a quiet corner of the hallway. "I'm sorry," he says, and for the first time since this nightmare began, he sounds genuinely remorseful. "I was wrong. My family, they've always controlled everything. When I told them about the baby, my mother immediately started talking about how you'd take all my money, how you'd use the baby against me." He runs his hand through his hair. "I was scared, and I let them convince me that preemptive action was the only way. But watching you these past months, how strong you've been, how you've protected our daughter even before she was born, I realized they were wrong. I was wrong." I study his face, searching for the manipulation I've come to expect, but find only exhaustion and regret. "I don't expect forgiveness," he continues, "but I want you to know I'm getting help. I've started therapy to work on setting boundaries with my family. I want to be a good father to Olivia, even if I failed as a husband to you." Something shifts inside me, not forgiveness exactly, but a loosening of the knot of anger I've carried for months. "I hope you mean that," I tell him, "for Olivia's sake." 3 months later, Derek has attended every supervised visit, completed his parenting classes, and maintained the boundaries set by the court. We communicate through a court-approved co-parenting app that documents everything, a system that gives me peace of mind and creates accountability. To my surprise, his sister reaches out through my lawyer, requesting a meeting. Against my better judgment, I agree to meet her in a public coffee shop, my sister accompanying me for support. "I owe you an apology," she says immediately, her eyes downcast. "What we did to you was inexcusable." She explains how their mother had orchestrated everything, convincing them all that I was a threat to their family. She's always been controlling, but with Derek, it was different. He was her golden child, and the idea that you would have any claim on him or his resources. She shakes her head. "It doesn't excuse what we did, what I did. I don't offer forgiveness, but I do offer understanding. Family dynamics are complicated," I tell her, "but my priority now is creating a healthy environment for Olivia." "I respect that," she says, "and I'll respect your boundaries, whatever they may be." By Olivia's first birthday, our new normal has stabilized. Derek has gradually earned increased visitation rights, now spending unsupervised time with her every weekend. His family remains at a distance. His sister occasionally sends gifts through Derek, but his mother has made no attempt at reconciliation. My documentation system has become second nature. I record every exchange, every interaction, every decision regarding Olivia. What began as protection has become a lifeline, a way to maintain clarity in co-parenting with someone who once tried to destroy me. The court upholds our custody arrangement at the 1-year review, with the judge noting Derek's consistent improvement and my willingness to facilitate his relationship with Olivia despite our difficult history. "You've both put your daughter's needs first," the judge comments. "That's commendable." As I watch Olivia take her first wobbly steps across my living room, reaching for a toy with determined concentration, I feel a profound sense of peace. The road to this moment was harder than I ever could have imagined, but we made it. My phone pings with a text from Derek. "Did she really walk? That's amazing. Can you send a video?" As a Moldesians on the Kurting Everteen, I smile and record Olivia's next attempts, her little face scrunched in concentration, then send it to him. His response is immediate, a string of heart emojis and exclamation points. This isn't the family I imagined, but it's ours. Olivia will grow up knowing she was fought for, protected, and loved fiercely from the very beginning, and in the end, that's what matters most. I place my hand gently on my daughter's head as she finally reaches her destination, looking up at me with triumph in her eyes, Derek's eyes, but with a determination that's all her own. "That's my girl," I whisper. "Nothing can stop you, and nothing will stop me from being the mother she deserves, the mother I proved I could be long before she was even born."